Hey kids, Mr. and Fly here, hope you're well. Pretty cold outside, so I thought I'd do another video in the garage for you for a change. Got a number of mods still to do on the old CRF250, and the next one on the list is the so-called Airbox Mod. Now, as you know, I fitted on the aftermarket FMF exhaust and header pipe, which has been fantastic. Really enjoyed riding with that on there. And one of the purposes of putting one of those pipes on is just to make the thing more free-flowing. So, of course, it's all very well getting the exhaust gases out quickly, but what about sucking more air into the engine? So that's where the Airbox Mod comes in. It's basically a way of making sure you get as much air as possible into the engine, and therefore just ensuring that free flow through the exhaust and liberating as much power as you can from the engine. So that's what this one's all around. Stay tuned and let's see what's involved in this. First things first, let's take the covers off. So the airbox itself lives under the cover here. So first thing is take the seat off, take these covers off, and then we can get to the airbox and see what we're dealing with. Okay, covers off. So this is the airbox itself, and the mod that we're going to do, there are actually a couple of modifications that you could do to the airbox. I'm going to do one that actually involves drilling holes into the airbox cover. The idea being that if you do that, you can always buy a spare part, another airbox cover, and then it's easy to replace back to stock if you want to in the future, if you sell the bike or whatever. Other people actually replace the top snorkel only with something that's got a bit of a wider diameter just to help the engine breathe a bit more. That's fine if you're going to be going through lots of deep water and stuff. I don't intend doing that necessarily, and one way of doing it. But there's possibly a little bit more involved to do that. You can just buy a sort of an elbow joint from a plumbers and put that in, but if you do that, you're then, you're actually going into the airbox housing proper, which is altogether a bigger part. So again, if you wanted to replace it with a stock one later, it's a bit more difficult. So for me, I'm not so worried about water ingress. I'm going to drill some holes and fit some filters actually into this cover. So let's do that. Okay, pretty simple to take the cover off. Just a couple of Phillips screws. There we go. Let's not lose them. Okay, so there we see the air filter within the airbox itself, and this is the cover that's concerned, and that's the bit that we're going to modify. I'll show you how we're going to do that in just a second. Okay, so here we are at the workbench, and this is the air filter cover. So all I'm going to do is, taking account of how this is strengthened on the back here, is drill some holes in here and then fit some of these little filters actually within the device. So afterwards they'll be stuck through that way. Hopefully it'll look quite neat and as if it should have been there all along. So what I've got to do is just basically work out, this is the air filter itself sits down that side when it's on the bike, so you don't want these to be obviously like that, because then it's going to be halfway in the air filter. It wouldn't make sense and you'll be into behind the air filter. So you've got to make sure they're in front. So they're going to go places like this here. I can probably only fit 4 in, I guess. Maybe I can get one in there. Yep, so there. Just make them look semi-neat like that. I think those sort of positions should give me some useful extra air. There's no point putting them at the back here because that's at the wrong side of the air filter, and these will just be too close, as I say. So I'll leave that one as spare. You never know when I might use it. And what I'll do now is just mark up so I can make sure exactly where these go. So that's the next job. Of course, you've got to also make sure there's nothing on the other side. So before I get too fancy. Good job I did. Look, there's that vein there. So that one there would go on that vein. So let's move that. The vein's all right there. We could possibly fit it there. We'll see. Don't know about that one. We'll think about that. We'll see how the others go first. And what about if we go with those 4? Yeah, we're clear of the vein that runs down there. Okay. So let's just mark those up. Okay, so the middle of that one is there. Just give that a little mark with the hammer. Okay, that's where the first one's going to go. Perfect. Okay, so we've got 3 marked up. I think that'll probably do us. We'll see how easy they are to make nice neat holes. See how it looks once they're plugged in, and make sure that is going to definitely clear that. Yep, and that one. Yep, and that one. Yep, we'll see how it looks once those 3 are in, and then we'll make a decision as to whether we want to put a 4th one in there or not. Okay, so to the drilling. Okay, so here goes the tricky bit. What I've got here is just a wood bit from a bracing bit. I've tried it on a plastic box already. I know that it cuts a 25mm hole, and the little filters fit in there okay. So I'm just going to try now and hold this and drill in. It's quite tricky this, so wish me luck. Right, and we're through with the first one. Okay, that's looking good. Makes a nice, neat little hole. Fabulous. 2 more to go. There. Right, last one was a bit tricky, but the others were okay. Let's drill a neat enough hole, that's all great. Right, let's have a little clean up, see if they fit in there. Of course, it being an airbox, we want to make sure there's not loads of dust left inside there that then gets sucked in the engine, so good old wipe round, it looks dust free. And hopefully these should just push straight in. Whoops. It'll be quite a nice neat fit. 1. 2. Excellent. 3. Very nice, fits in there a treat, nice neat job. Looks like it came from the factory like that. So the question is, do I want to put a final one in that corner? I think not, only because it's quite tight in there, and I might struggle to get it cut neatly. And I can't put one there because I've got this vane in the way. So I think 3 is going to be it. However, those 3, if you think about that size of that opening compared to the size of the normal snorkel, that's got to be a good 30 to 40% improvement in airflow. So we'll stick her back on, see how she looks. And there's the snorkel at the top, look, and you can see that's the amount of airflow or the size that we get through there normally. And then you can see the extra vents I've put on the airbox. That's going to be a significant increase in flow through, hopefully, and hopefully we'll notice a difference. So here we go then. This is there she goes. It's just going to sit back on there again. Just got to do those screws back up, and then we're good. And I think you'd agree, looks kind of factory, as if it should have always been like that. So quite pleased with that. Excellent little job. So let's get it tightened up and the covers back on, and another job done. Yeah, nice and sealed. And then hopefully you can see by, obviously now, I couldn't wade into water that was any higher than there, because obviously the water would get into there. Although these are so, you know, these are quite small, and with the little sponge filter underneath them as well, plus the filter in there, I really can't see a great deal of water getting in. If it was splashed, certainly with the covers on, it's just not going to be an issue. And anyway, if I'm in water up to here, that's water too much, too deep than what I want to be in. So so that's really not going to worry me for the sort of riding that I'm doing. So yeah, really pleased with that. I think it looks really good. Excellent. Right, covers on. And there we have it. That's the next mod in the line for the old CRF250. Couple more in mind, so stay tuned, stick around on the channel. We'll get those posted up as soon as we can. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.